Hello, learners. Welcome to today's mathematics class. I am still Miss Ifeanyi Joseph. Welcome to today's class. So, in today's class, we're going to be looking at the topic titled Square Root and Cube Root. We're going to be looking at the topic titled Square Root and Cube Root. Now, for today's class, we're going to be learning all about square roots, squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots. And we're also going to be learning how to solve equations using this square root and cube root. So it promises to be a very informative class. Please stay tuned and listen. So when we talk about square of a number, what do we mean? Now, when a number is raised to 2, we call it the square of a number. So when we say square, we're referring to a number that is raised to 2. For example now, the square of 2 is 4. So 2 times 2 will give us 4. So when you are raising a number to the power of 2, it means that that number is what? Multiplying itself twice. That number is multiplying itself. So when you raise it to the power of 2, that is 2 times 2 will give us 4. The square of minus 3 is 9. Square of minus 3, that is minus 3 times minus 3, that will give us 9. When negative is multiplied by the negative, it gives us what? Positive. So 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. That's why our answer is positive 9 and not what? Negative 9. So we have squares of some perfect squares on the screen. We have square of 1 is 1, square of 2 is 4, square of 3 is 9, the square of 4 is 16, the square of 5 is 25, the square of 6 is 36, the square of 7 is 49, the square of 8 is 64, the square of 9 is 84, 81, the square of 10 is 100. So all these are called what? Perfect square, because when they multiply each other, they give an exact number. There are some numbers that don't give you a perfect square. Some they give you the numbers in like in decimals. So those ones aren't perfect square. But these ones are perfect square because they multiply it and they give you what? An exact number. So here's a mini exercise for you to try out. The 7 square is what? When you want to 7 square, that is 7 times 7. So 7 times 7 will give you what? Please put your answer in the comment section. Then we have 12 square. To find the square of 12, you simply do 12 times 12. And we can see the answer there on the screen. 12 times 12 is what? 144. 12 times 12 is 144. While 7 times 7 will give us what? 49. So when you are given questions like 7 raised to power 2, all you just need to do is to multiply the number by itself. Not 7 times 2, but multiplying the number by itself, which is 7 times 7. So I hope you understand that. That brings us to the next phase of this class, which is what? The square root. Now, the square root is like the opposite of the square. The square root is the opposite of squaring a number. So the opposite of squaring a number is finding the square root. So in most cases, when you want to find the square of a number, you can just easily find the square root of it. So for example, now we have the square of 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. The square of 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So that you can see that they are opposite of each other. 2 times 2 give you 4, while the square root of 4 is what? 2. So the square root is like saying what number will multiply itself to give you that particular number. Now in this case, we have the square root of 4. Like what number will multiply itself to give you 4? And the answer is what? 2. So here's an exercise for it. What is the square root of 16? And the square root of 25. Now, since 4 square is equals to 16, that means the square root of 16 is what? 4. Since 5 square is equals to what? 25, that means the square root of 25 is what? 5. Isn't that simple? So here are some positive square roots listed. We have the square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4, square root of 25 is 5, square root of 36 is 6, square root of 49 is 7, square root of 64 is 8, Square root of 81 is 9 and square root of 100 is what? 10. So we can see that everything on the square root is usually the opposite of it, which is the square. So they are more like opposites of each other, the square root and square. So I hope you know your square roots and your squares from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So remember when we're talking about the square of a number, we're raising to the power of what? 2. Now for the cube of a number, we are raising to the power of what? 3. So when you raise a number to the power of 3, we call it the cube of a number. Now for example, the cube of 3 is 27. That is 3 raised to power 3. That means 3 is multiplying itself 3 times. That's 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is going to give us what? 9. And 9 times 3 will give us what? 27. So 3, the cube of 3, which is 3 raised to power 3, is what? 27. The cube of minus 3 is minus 27. Minus 3 times minus 3 will give us what? Plus 9. Why plus 9 times minus 3 will give us what? 27. So minus 3 multiplied by minus 3 will give us what? Plus 9. And plus 9 multiplied by another minus 3 again will give us what? 27. So that's the cube of the numbers. So we have the 10 perfect cubes here on the screen for you. You can see 1 raised to power 3 is 1, 2 raised to power 3 is 8, 3 raised to power 3 is 27, 4 raised to power 3 is 64, 5 raised to power 3 is 125. That brings us to the next phase, which is what? Cube root. So just like square root is the opposite of square, cube root is also the opposite of what? Cube. So the opposite of cubing a number is finding the cube root. So if the cube of 3 is 27, definitely the cube root of 27 is what? 3. Very easy. So we have some positive cube roots. The cube root of 1 is 1, the cube root of 8 is 2, the cube root of 27 is 3, the cube root of 64 is 4, the cube root of 125 is 5, the cube root of 216 is 6, the cube root of 343 is 7, the cube root of 512 is 8, the cube root of 729 is 9, and the cube root of 1000 is what? 10. So here are some examples for you to try out. Find the cube root of 8 and the cube root of minus 64. So the cube root of 8 is what? 2, and the cube root of 64 of minus 64 is 4. So if you have gotten to this part of the video, please pause the video and attempt the questions on your screen and leave your answers in the comment section. So you have to find the cube root of 125, square root of 121, square root of minus 1, the cube root of minus 8, the square root of 81, and the square root of what? 100. So leave your answers in the comment section. And if you have any question, do not hesitate to also leave them in the comment section and I will get right into it. So I hope you have enjoyed today's class as much as I did, and I hope you've learned all about your squares, your square roots, your cubes, and cube roots. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all in my next video. Bye.